All right, so leadership, right? Not just the surface stuff. We're going deep today, trying to figure out what makes a leader someone people actually want to follow.
And the cool thing is we've got Simon Sinek's TED Talk to dig into. Plus, we found some extra stuff that really adds another layer to his ideas.
It's going to be good. Courage, trust, putting people first. We're going to get to some serious aha moments. You ready?
Yeah, and what I find fascinating is how Sinek takes us back to basics, like way back. Caveman days, survival of the fittest.
Right.
He uses this story about Captain William Swenson, got the Medal of Honor for bravery in Afghanistan. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. With the GoPro footage.
Yeah, in the middle of everything, total chaos. And he stops to, like, kiss this wounded soldier on the forehead before going back out to save more people.
Unbelievable, right?
Talk about going above and beyond. I mean, what even makes someone do that in that situation? Like, where does that courage even come from? And that's exactly what Sinek gets at. He says, deep down, we're all still kind of hardwired to protect our own tribe. You know, like thousands of years ago, if your ancestors didn't work together, trust each other to have their backs against whatever danger. Well, they didn't last long.
So, like, different jungle, same survival instincts, except now it's deadlines and office politics instead of saber-toothed tigers.
Exactly. Sinek calls it needing a circle of safety. It's that space where people feel protected, respected, where they can trust the people around them.
Okay, so circle of safety. I like that. But how does that work when it's, fear of failing a project or the company going under? It's not like we're all huddled around a fire worried about wolves attacking, right?
Right, right. It's way more complicated than that. But to help us understand, Sinek's used an example. Most of us have experienced terrible customer service. He tells this story about a gate agent, just awful to these passengers. So finally he asks her about it.
Oh, I bet this is good.
And she says, and I quote, "Sir, if I don't follow the rules, I could get in trouble or lose my job."
Wow. So it wasn't that she was just trying to be mean. She felt like trapped by the rules, afraid to make a mistake, even if it meant being kinder.
Exactly. Her behavior, as bad as it was a symptom of this bigger problem. That lack of trust was eating away at her own sense of security,
Mm.
made it hard to just relax and treat people right. And Sinek says that's where leadership comes in.
Yeah, and not just from the CEO or manager.
Right, exactly. It's everybody. Leadership isn't about what your title is. It's about taking responsibility for the environment you're creating around you. Whether you're the CEO or the intern, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I like that. So Sinek talks about these companies where the leaders get it. They prioritize that sense of belonging, of trust within their teams. Like he talks about Southwest Airlines.
Yeah, they're known for like empowering their employees, letting them make decisions. And then there's this tech company, Next Jump. They take this whole circle of safety thing to a whole other level.
Really? How so?
They have this policy of lifetime employment.
Whoa, seriously.
Yeah, just imagine the kind of loyalty that builds. Imagine waking up every day knowing your job is secure, like you're valued for more than just, how much you produce. Almost like family. Changes things.
100%. If you know you're safe, if you're not always worried about getting fired, I bet you'd be more likely to, take risks, try new things. You wouldn't be so afraid to fail.
Totally. You're free to actually contribute, be a part of something bigger than just holding on to your job. It's powerful stuff.
See, and that's what gets me, that it's a choice. Like, leadership isn't your title. It's, I don't know, it's something you step into. And it's not just CEOs and stuff, right?
100%. Like, think about a teacher who goes above and beyond for their kids, or, that friend who can always get everyone hyped up and feeling included. They're not CEOs.
But they're creating that circle of safety.
Yeah.
Making people feel seen.
Exactly.
That's awesome. But okay, how do you actually make that happen? That trust, that willingness to follow someone, even when things are tough?
So Sinek, he tells this story about these Marines. They're out in the field, and, the officer, he lets his men eat first.
Okay.
Which is like the custom,
Good.
right? But there wasn't enough food left for him. So they get back to camp, and his guys, they all share what little they have with him. Powerful stuff, right?
That says it all.
Right.
Giving up what little they had to take care of their leader.
Wow. It's that loyalty, that bond. It doesn't just happen. They earned that by going through it together, respecting each other, having a leader who puts his people first no matter what.
That actually reminds me of something else from the research about decentering leadership, like saying that it's not just one person calling the shots, it's more about everyone being able to contribute their strengths, right?
Exactly. It challenges that old way of thinking, where all the power is at the top.
Yeah.
It's realizing that everyone has something to offer,
So less I'm in charge and more like we're in this together.
right? Think of it like a jazz band.
Yeah.
Everyone has their instrument, their thing, and they're playing off each other, improvising to create something amazing.
Ooh, I like that. But that takes trust, right? Like really knowing your voice matters, even if you disagree or see things differently.
Absolutely. If people are afraid to speak up, you'll never get those truly innovative ideas. You need that collective brain power.
Which also makes me think about the whole relational leadership thing. Seems like building actual relationships is key.
It's essential. Relational leadership is all about connection, understanding that it's not just about tasks and goals, it's about humans.
So remembering that everyone you're working with, they're people first.
Exactly. Lead with empathy, with that genuine desire to understand and support the people around you.
It's funny how we always think about leadership like it's business or the military, right? But
Yeah.
this trust thing, the empathy part, that feels like universal.
For sure. It's easy to forget. Leadership, it's really about influence at the end of the day. Every single one of us, we impact the people around us, whether we know it or not.
Every choice we make, it's a chance to lift someone up or accidentally hold them back, I guess.
It's true.
Like be the change, right? If you want to see better leadership out there, you got to kind of be that yourself. Doesn't matter what your job title is.
Absolutely. And being honest with yourself, right? Like,
Yeah.
am I creating an environment where people can actually thrive?
Mm.
Am I putting others first when it really matters? Tough questions.
No kidding. But important ones, right? If you actually want to lead the right way.
Exactly.
And it's not like there's just one way to do it, is there? I mean, the research even talked about how, all those old ideas about leadership, the whole charismatic thing, having all the answers, that's changing too, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
These days, it's less about fitting some mold, more about your mindset. Like being a good listener, being okay with not knowing everything. Those are way more valuable now, especially with how crazy the world is.
Being able to say, I don't know, but let's figure it out together, that takes guts.
It does. Humility, that's a big one. Not something you see a lot with the whole, I'm the boss style.
Right. More like we're in this together. So less hero leader and more helping everyone else rise to the occasion.
Now you've got it. Building that shared leadership, everyone feels valued, respected, ready to bring their best. That's the good stuff.
Who wouldn't want to be a part of that? And as Sinek said, that's what it comes down to, leadership.
Yeah.
Not just from the top, but from all of us. Stepping up, leading with your heart.
I love that. And on that note, I think we'll leave everyone with this. As you go about your day, ask yourself, what kind of leader will I choose to be?